It's News Central live on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano.
And I am Mawina Egbeta. The bulletin starts right now. Yo, Jackson, you come office.
Now, the prime suspect in the murder of Ghana Immigration Service Officer Assistant Inspector Stephen King Amwa is scheduled to reappear before the Adabrakat District Court on August 8, 2025. This is as the police intensify investigations into the gruesome killing that has shocked the nation. The Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP Lydia Yakodonko, at a press briefing in Accra, detailed how the case unfolded following a missing person report filed on July 4th. My colleague Nabil Crosby Annan sat through the press briefing. He's now joining us with a bit more on this. Crosby, what has the police been saying about the murder of the immigration officer?
The CID board is providing some filling details as far as the investigations into
the murder of the immigration officer has come, and the details of their findings is quite disturbing. First of all, it is saying that on 16th July 2025, the CID, supported by officers from the counter-terrorism unit and the Kwabena District Police, they visited the suspect's residence, and upon a forensic inspection revealed that there were some blood stains in the living room, and there was some evidence of an attempted cleanup because there were freshly sprayed walls and an empty can spray paint, and the spray paint was white. Well, a search of a secondary crime scene near the GBC satellite area also uncovered a burnt wooden carpet stained with blood and partially burnt camouflage fabric. Also, subsequent investigations also observed that a new wooden carpet had been laid in the suspect's room, suggesting an attempt to conceal evidence. Well, these items, according to procedure, they were photographed and retrieved and processed for forensic analysis. But also on the 24th of July this year, police obtained a warrant from the court to search a particular room in the suspect's house, and the search revealed more blood stains. They were photographed and samples were collected for forensic analysis. It tested positive for human blood. A further search in the bushes around 100 meters of the suspect's house also led to the retrieval of a fufu pistol with blood stains all over it, and it was wrapped in polythene bags. So the CID boss has been providing further updates with regards to the suspect they have in custody, who is now being charged with murder, and how this new charge came about. We can listen to exactly what he said with regards to more findings after forensic investigation into the murder of this immigration officer.
It is actively investigating the gruesome murder of Assistant Inspector of Immigration Stephen King Amwa, popularly known as Otumfo Nana, who was initially reported missing early last month in July 2025. On 4 July 2025, the Kwabena District Police Command received a complaint regarding the disappearance of Assistant Inspector Stephen King Amwa, an immigration officer stationed at the Sports Department of the Ghana Immigration Headquarters in Accra. Investigations revealed that on 3 July 2025, at approximately 8 p.m., the deceased left his residence at Ashoma Estate after receiving WhatsApp images of cash bundles from one Bright Awe, who requested to meet him at a spot at Ashoma Estate to settle an outstanding debt. According to the complainant, Mr. Amwa never returned home that night, and his phone remained switched off thereafter. On 6 July 2025, subsequent police operations led to the arrest of suspect Bright Awe with aliases Roberts or Highest Bright. During interrogation, he admitted to meeting and giving the deceased 500,000 cedis in cash on 3 July 2025 when they met at a spot at Ashoma Estate. He claimed that he instructed the deceased to use 200,000 Ghana cedis to pay off certain debts and hold the remaining 300,000 cedis for later collection. However, the suspect failed to clearly explain the source of the funds and provided conflicting statements which heightened suspicions of foul play. He was arraigned before the Kwabena Circuit Court on 8 July 2025 on a provisional charge of kidnapping. On the morning of 9 July 2025, police discovered a severely burnt body in a gutter near GBC Satellite opposite Comet Estate in Accra. The body was conveyed to the police hospital morgue. Following this discovery, investigators from the Kwabena police joined the crime scene and later proceeded with the complainant and 6 relatives to the morgue. Despite the extent of the burns, the relatives positively identified the body as that of Stephen King Amwa, who had been missing since 3 July 2025. The investigation took a decisive turn on 16 July 2025 when the CID, supported by officers from the Counter-Terrorism Unit and the Kwabena District Police, visited the suspect's residence. A forensic inspection revealed the following: blood stains in the living room and evidence of attempted cleanup, freshly sprayed walls, and empty can of spray paint. A search of a secondary crime scene near the GBC Satellite area also uncovered a burnt woolen carpet stained with blood and partially burnt camouflage fabric.
Indeed, Crosby, you know, at the time news broke of Amwa's death, there were issues of money and a person of interest was involved. Have the police been able to link the current suspect to this person yet?
Kamini, I'm afraid you'd have to repeat the question.
Well, I'm asking if the police have been able to link the current state of the investigations to the person of interest who allegedly owed Amwa some money.
Exactly, Kamini. So the link is that the police has been explaining what the link is, and upon the arrest of the prime suspect, he was charged with kidnapping. Upon interrogations with the suspect, the police is telling us that the suspect made available some amount of money, about 500,000 cedis, to the now deceased person, that he had to use about 200 to pay a debt, and then keep the 300 that would be collected later. However, the suspect then placed a call to, or sent a message to the deceased that he was ready to pay the money. When the deceased visited the suspect at where they were expected to meet, and the police provided the details of that meet, that when the suspect got there, the suspect, according to CCTV footage, was not able or did not come out of the place where he had to meet the suspect in this transaction. So they're linking it directly to this person.
Very well. We also know that the CID boss spoke about stolen cars. Talk to us about that.
Well, as part of investigations into a report of stolen vehicles, the CID boss is telling us that they have been able to make a major breakthrough in car robbery cases following the arrest of one convict. His name is Abubakar Sadiq, and he is a convicted fugitive. So the suspect and his accomplices, according to the CID, they operated under the guise of being members of a non-governmental organization or a religious group. And their modus operandi, it was to approach car rental companies and drivers pretending to rent their vehicles for missionary purposes in parts of northern Ghana, and then only to rob them of their vehicles mid-journey, often in remote locations in the northern part of the country. As part of efforts to also, deal with cases of vehicles, the police is also saying that work is being done by Interpol as well as representatives in the country on transnational stolen vehicle cases. So they say that they have stepped up efforts to fight vehicle crime by working in close collaboration with other national agencies, including the Customs Division, as well as the GRA, Interpol, and other agencies, FBI as well, to share intelligence on how to retrieve or trace some of these missing vehicles that sometimes end up in the country.
Well, Crosby, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Crosby Annan covered that police press briefing earlier today.
The National Identification Authority, the NIA, has announced plans to expand its online services beginning 2 weeks from today, in a move aimed at streamlining the application process for the Ghana card. under the enhanced system, applicants will enjoy a more seamless and user-friendly experience, including the ability to select a preferred center for collecting their cards. This is expected to reduce congestion at registration centers and improve the overall efficiency of service delivery. George Quenin has been to that news briefing, is joining us with a bit more details as to what is informing this new line of service delivery by the authority. George, what more can you tell us about the key changes in the NIA's online service delivery? Well, we will connect with George shortly, but let's hear from the authorities at the NIA who've been speaking exactly to what it is that they're expected to roll out 2 weeks from now.
The point that if you are a foreigner and you desire to have the ECOWAS identity card, which is the citizen's card, there are processes you can go through to legally acquire the card. Anything aside the legal procedures to acquire the card is illegal. And so those Ghanaians who are vouching for these foreign nationals to acquire the citizen's card, we are coming for you. So far, out of the over 20 people we are prosecuting, there are some Ghanaians, they vouch for the foreign nationals, and in our system it's very easy to identify such people. And so we are prosecuting all of them. Those of you who are also vouching for people you don't even know, people you've never met before, but you've made the vouching process a business. Vouching from Eastern to Northern to Volta, we are coming for you. We are sending a very stern warning to such people that in the coming days, we will be picking such people and be putting them before court.
Right, George. George is back with us. George, we've just been hearing from the NIA staff who are speaking particularly to persons who are vouching for others and then extorting persons in the process of registering for Ghana cards. What more did they say about this and the processes they are hoping to take some of their staff through who are believed to be extorting the ordinary Ghanaian? Well, does appear, like I mentioned, George Quenin, but let's try one more time. George, if you can hear me, provide us with details from this press conference, starting with the service delivery, and then we can talk about prosecution of persons caught extorting monies.
Yeah, Moina, thank you so much for having me. And so it's been a solid 2-hour engagement with the media. And like you actually mentioned, or that was said in the SOT of the head of communications at the NIA, they're actually going to expand their online processes for people who are new applicants to also access this very opportunity. And clearly, there will be some advancement. And so immigration officers will be deployed to all these centers to ensure that anyone that wants to cause any mayhem at these centers will be apprehended accordingly. And they've also tasked their officers not to extort unapproved fees from customers, because we are hearing that the officers are taking money from these applicants. They've also gotten wind of some illegalities being perpetrated at the Tripoli district office. And so they've gotten solid information in that regard. And so they are coming for officers at the Tripoli district office. And so these are some of the things that came to bear at this meeting this morning.
Days yet, but there are persons who are there right now seeking to get their cards. Have you interacted with them about the possibility of being able to choose from where they can collect their cards? So what have they been telling you about these new initiatives yet to be ruled out?
So with this new initiative, if you apply online, it means that you can actually choose your destination. So if you're in Accra somewhere, maybe Kutubabi, you can actually get your card closer to you at your district office. Unlike the times where you have to come all the way to the NIA to access this card. In terms of proximity, it's a good thing, and you can actually save some money going all around to get your Ghana card. And in that regard, it's actually a good boost for the NIA. And also, they put some measures in place. And so, if you are giving your information out online, it means that it's going to align with all the legal and data protection, standards in the world. And so there are persons who are concerned about the fact that if they're giving the information out, some persons or scammers might, tamper with this, information. But the NIA has assured that information aligns with legal and data protection. And also, if you are actually going to engage them, make sure you know the amount of money you're going to pay. So if you're actually going to the district office, you're not going to pay more than 125 cents. That's the highest money you're able to pay. But if you're engaging the premium services, you can pay more than 450 Ghana cedis. So you should know exactly how much you're going to pay so that you will not be found wanting or you paying any unapproved amount of money to any officer. Marina.
George, thank you. That's my colleague George Queenan with details from the NIA.
Let's head outside the capital city because 1,047 delegates of the governing National Democratic Congress in the Akatsi constituency expected to take part in voting to elect a parliamentary candidate for the September 2nd by-election. 3 aspirants are contesting to represent the NDC: Henry Boakye, Bernard Bediakon, Beidu, and Erasmus Koni Ali. The Akatsi by-election follows the death of the NPP MP Ernest Kumi, who held the seat for only 6 months after a protracted legal battle. In the 2024 general elections, Kumi won with 19,269 votes, defeating the NDC's Henry Boakye Yadom, who polled 17,206 votes. Oh, let's check out how polling is going in the Akatsi constituency. Correspondent Yvonne Nikwe is there for us. Yvonne, talk to us about happenings in Akatsi. We see a long line of delegates behind you. How's it going so far?
Well, so far, the process has been smoothly. A number of the delegates are already joining in the queue to ensure that they go through this process. As you rightly mentioned, over 1,000 of them are supposed to go through this process and elect one candidate from the 3 who are contesting. So far, we're seeing that the police are doing some inspection before they enter into the field and join the queue that have been barricaded by the police before they enter inside. Behind me, inside is the GCD center where the election is currently ongoing. Over 50 of them have so far voted in the exercise we began an hour ago.
I see. What about the candidates? What have we heard from them? Have they voted themselves? How's it going?
Well, 2 out of the 3 candidates are still here as I speak to you. 2 of them joining in a while ago. We're seeing Erasmus Koni Ali and Henry Yadom watching who have passed by. I see them trying to have a last-minute pep talk with some of the delegates outside the perimeters, hoping that they do them the honors. Erasmus won't speak to us, but Henry Boakye spoke. He says that he's hoping that the delegates would allow him to continue as he were. We do know that he was a former MP during the year 2020 when he was elected in this constituency as MP, and then he lost the 2024 elections. He's just hoping that the delegates will remember him as a justification as he's being a one-time MP in the air.
I see. Now, we see that there appears to be a build-up of the gathering at the top of the stairs behind you. Perhaps you take the opportunity to look behind you and see what's happening. If you could get close to that and let us know what it is. But in the meantime, when are we expecting voting to end?
Voting is supposed to end here by 4 p.m., as the officials have said. And so by 4 p.m., the last person on the register should be able to cast his or her ballot to ensure that the counting process goes on. As I mentioned earlier on, over 1,000 of them are expected to go through this particular process. And so, rightly said, there's a build-up right behind me and on the park as many more of them get inside here to ensure that they take part in the process as well. What you have observed is that by and large, the police are guiding them through the process to ensure that the tempers don't flare up to escalate into something they cannot hold on here.
I see. Talk to us about security arrangements for this process.
Well, security has been, as it were, effective so far. And so before you enter the park and then joining the queue, they do a bit of searching, and then they've cordoned off any other person who is not a delegate or official person to enter into the parameters to vote. Along the queue as well, we're seeing that a number of them are still monitoring whoever is in the queue to ensure that whatever issue that arises, they're able to monitor it to ensure that everybody peacefully go through the process and then enters to do the voting and then leave the place peacefully. Once in a while, we'll see a number of the delegates shout or probably contest an issue, but that has not been an issue that the police have been overwhelmed with yet. And so in collaboration with the party officials here, they've been managing their delegates so far.
I see. Speaking of seeing, we know that some party bigwigs have made their way there. Who are these people? What have they been saying?
Well, the NDC national organizer, Joseph Yamin, has been here. He's actually leading the national executive here through the process. For him, he believes that the delegates and party supporters should understand that it's a Bradley contest, and so theirs is supposed to vote for somebody he describes to be a marketable person for them. Or seeing the national regional chairman, Matt Kebwa, here, the regional minister is also here. It's been a very on-point discussion from them. For them, basically, they've been asking all of them to ensure that the process is peaceful.
Well, Yvonne, why don't you keep an eye on the situation there? We'll connect again in subsequent broadcasts. Yvonne Nikwe is our Eastern Region correspondent watching over that election. She's observing the NDC's internal election to elect a candidate for the Akatsi constituency by-election.
And you're still here on News Central. But away from that, Cabinet has approved the implementation of the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. This is a major policy shift aimed at reforming artisanal and small-scale mining in the country. The program, spearheaded by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, aligns with President Mahama's vision of creating sustainable employment through responsible mining practices. The initiative is set to replace and build upon the Community Mining Scheme and the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, integrating the most effective elements of both initiatives while addressing their operational and structural shortcomings. Another new framework, the government will support the establishment of locally owned mining cooperatives, and a core component of the RCOM step is its skills development agenda, targeting youth and in mining communities. Let's bring you a bit more details on this responsible cooperative mining and skills development program and what it is that the strategic objectives are on this particular one, because remember, mining continues, small-scale mining continues to be one thing that has strained or swayed away into areas of illegal mining. And so there's been different efforts by government to try and deal with it. But let's look at what the strategic objectives are, considering that we've seen other such initiatives by the previous administration. And the big question, whether or not it answers the problem of young persons entering into forest mining illegally, amongst many other things. And so the first thing is to promote and regulate environmentally responsible cooperative mining. They also aim to restore lands degraded by illegal mining and provide vocational, technical, agricultural, digital, and entrepreneurial training, amongst many other things. And so the 6 interconnected pillars: cooperative mining scheme, mine support services, vocational training and entrepreneurship development, and environmental rehabilitation program. Also, we're expecting to see agricultural value chain development and community infrastructure development. And so responsible cooperative mining and skills development program, that's what the government says they're rolling out. Let's speak to Akatsi Shandoff, he's Media Relations Officer of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Akatsi, thank you very much. How different is what we're seeing from the ministry from all other previous initiatives by the government? I see entrepreneurial skills development among many other things. Are we seeking to have young people move away from mining pits and be trained with entrepreneurial skills? How viable is that, considering they may be seeing lots of money? Now you're asking them to come for training.
Right. So thank you very much. It's a privilege to be connected. First of the distinguishing variable between the policy that we are rolling on board and the ones that we've seen in the past is the fact that this time around we are ceding the authority to the local folks in the respective communities to lead, to supervise, and to execute the mining, hence the cooperative mining. Now, it's important to put on record that what was rolled out somewhere July 2019, labeled as the community mining scheme, did not achieve its purpose in the sense that it did not involve the local folks. Indeed, there were stories where persons in Accra, of course, politically profiled persons in Accra, got the mining licenses, went to the communities and then began the excavations without recourse to any cooperation with the local folks. What we are doing now is that we are handing it over to those who are in the communities themselves, vis-a-vis those who are interested in the mining enterprise and the traditional authorities as well. By so doing, they get to control the process and they reap the benefits thereof. And talking about the profitability thereof, or whether or not it's lucrative, currently we all do understand that there is the Ghana Gold Board that has been set as the national assayer for gold trading, I beg your pardon. Now, there are policies they have implemented to ensure that in collaboration with the ministry, the outputs of this venture benefits everybody who gets on board to participate.
I hear you on the community being on board, but the big question that could stick out for anybody listening to you is, have these locals been able to police illegal mining happening in their environment now that we're wanting to trust them with cooperative mining? Where lies the ability to have this done and done effectively?
If it comes to local monitoring and policing, the Blue Water Guard initiative, I think, answers that concern, in the sense that if you look at the recruitment plan for the Blue Water Guard initiative, the preference and the priority is for those who live in the communities where the mining occurs takes off. And so because they are the custodians of the land, if I have to put it that way, they understand the local dynamics, they are familiar with the test, and so they are able to monitor and detect where illegal mining is concerned, and then they move in to act. So that is the fact that the locals are the one involved in the mining, in the monitoring, in the policing, and in any other accompanying process.
Akatsi, just finally, when are we expecting this to officially be rolled out, or it's already underway and currently being implemented in these mining areas?
Well, so the program is due for Wednesday. It will be launched in Obuasi under the auspices of the Sector Minister, the Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibwa. After that eventful launch ceremony, we will proceed to roll it out in phases. Indeed, not every region in Ghana is endemic where illegal mining is concerned. There are some hotspots, if we have to put it that way. For instance, you're looking at the central region, you're looking at the Ashanti region, you're looking at the western north region, the Ahafo North region, and the eastern region as well. Those are the prime areas that the implementation would target. And so when we start that, we'll be giving comprehensive updates on the results so far under the auspices of the Sector Minister, who's committed to make Galamsey a thing of the past.
Akatsi, let's leave it here while I switch over to the other phone line. I will ask Sewa is the coordinator, Eco-Conscious Citizens, founder and coordinator as well. She's joined us. Thank you very much, madam, for speaking to us. This new initiative answers the question of being able to move our young people from illegal mining pits.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. You see, the problem is that is going to be a continuation of historical failures. What systems have been put in place to ensure that there's going to be compliance and adherence to social and environmental safeguards? Where are they? I have not seen any. So the same concerns that we had with community mining, nothing has changed. It's like putting new wine into old wine skins. We haven't seen that there's going to be any robust mechanism for ensuring adherence to protocols. Whether it's you call it community mining or you call it cooperative mining, call it whatever you like. What we are interested in is the robust mechanism, is to see that the duty bearers are properly resourced so that they can ensure compliance. I also haven't seen anything about the polluter pays principle. So I am a little disappointed because when in opposition, I remember Honorable Rashid Pelpo holding the press conference saying they were going to team up with eco-conscious citizens and that they were putting a hold on small-scale mining until we got our act together. There's no evidence that we have got our act together. And it appears that there are inadequate compliance, verifications, enforcement protocols. So it's going to be the same thing with a different name. And if we see the damage that has been caused by community mining, mainly masquerading as illegal mining, we are going to just continue what is going on. And let me give you a very good example. In Atronsu, for example, the activists there saw how community mining would destroy the environment and the appeal Atronsu stream. They said they didn't want it. Be that as it may, some individuals claim brandishing a community license, the community mining license. They were polluting the water. Calls were made to the EPA. It appears the EPA was unable to come and check because as Dr. Fipon Boateng told us, even if you have a license, if you go outside the parameters of your license, you are engaged in illegal mining. Even if you had a license, you were supposed to get the digging license from the EPA. You're proceeding without the digging license. Fortunately, nothing happened. The area continued to be degraded despite complaints to the police and the EPA until 2 excavators were burned. Then the police promptly arrested the activists, accusing them of burning the excavators, which they denied.
Right.
And I must say that after the excavators were burned, the degradation stopped. So our concerns are there that the critical flaws have not been addressed.
Right. I'm sure the conversations will continue, but let's leave the conversation here for now, and we'll return as and when necessary. Awula Sewa is founder coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, speaking to us this afternoon on the latest initiative, as it's been expected to be launched a lot later this week by the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, and we'll bring you details of that. But still on the conversation of illegal mining, a renewed crackdown rather on illegal mining in the Manso-Edubia area in the Ashanti region is facing serious pushback as some community members led by local opinion leaders are reportedly turning against the police. But officers deployed as part of the nationwide anti-Galamsey operation have vowed not to back down until significant success is achieved in the fight against illegal mining.
Launched an aggressive anti-Galamsey campaign in response to President Mahama's directive to end illegal mining, which continues to ravage Ghana's water bodies, farmlands and forest reserves. As part of the IGP special operations, 3 teams have been deployed to known hotspots, Manso-Edubia and Ekwimawabiaja municipalities in the Ashanti region and Diaso in the central region.
All right, good morning to you all. Morning.
In Manso-Edubia, the battle is not just against illegal miners, it is against misinformation and resistance. Security personnel report that opinion leaders and in some cases political actors are inciting locals, especially the youth, to confront the police. In recent weeks, officers have had to fire warning shots to protect themselves as clashes erupt during patrols. Areas such as Manso-Datanu, Tonto Krom, Watreso, Odahu, Esuodai, and Impatasie remain volatile. Illegal miners in these communities often carry weapons under the pretense of defending their claims, but security sources say these arms are increasingly being turned on law enforcement personnel. Despite the threat, the Special Anti-Galamsey operation is making gains. The deployment under the command of DSP Karim Mahama ASP Bawa Abdul Jalil and ASP Justice Sapon from the National Police Headquarters has led significant disruption of illegal mining activities in the regions. The task force invaded several degraded illegal mining sites where several confiscated excavators were towed to a protected base. At other mining sites, the illegal miners bolted upon seeing the task force approach, leaving behind their firearms with fully loaded magazines. But before they fled the mining pits, they immersed their excavators in a mud and immobilized them by removing significant components of the earth-moving equipment to make it virtually impossible for the task force to tow them away. Commanders of the task force became overwhelmed in their quest to move the excavators.
We are at a location called Man 9, where we are facing the same challenge. The machine is very immersed deeply into the mud, and this is what is happening. The degradation here is so terrible, and we can't continue to close eyes on this thing. So we are fighting it with all our strength and capacity as law enforcement officers.
A new machine that we have even identified here, very difficult for us to even use our usual way of even getting it started. So it's a big problem and a big challenge which we need technical people who will always assist us in this situation to be able to take some of these excavators out anytime we confront with this situation. I think basically the fight against illegal mining is something that we will continue to do. As law enforcement officer, it is our responsibility, as we have been given the mandate, to make sure that we go all out in all the areas within this jurisdiction to make sure that we stop the illegal mining which we are doing. Virtually, I can say Ghana, the President, the Inspector General of Police, we are winning the war against illegal mining.
Authorities say maintaining the gains in the fight against illegal mining will require more than just boots on the ground. They are calling for enhanced intelligence gathering, government engagement with local communities, and logistical support to prevent a resurgence of galamsey. As the IGP's men continue their mission, the Ghana Police Service is urging residents to support rather than sabotage efforts to protect the environment, warning that attacks on officers will not be tolerated. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Mansu Edubia.
And that's my colleague Stanley with the anti-galamsey task force that's deployed by the IGP. We'll continue to bring you details of it. But we're going for our very first break here on News Central. When we return, the Finance Minister, Dr. Kesia Lato-Forson, has been making some big announcement about producer price for cocoa. We'll have the details for you if you stay with us.
Why are more and more professionals choosing flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for that beautiful, elegant look. Flamingo paint has great hiding abilities to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
Impressive. For me, as a professional painter, I love flamingo paints because with this small paints that pay huge area, meaning more profit for me.
Great value for money. As an architect, flamingo paint with it well researched and solid.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle, from the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital,
from the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom,
reporting from Sunyani,
from the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds, the moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News, leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Central here on TV3. I'm Kamini Amano. Let's get into some news just coming in because government has announced an increase in the producer price of cocoa from $3,100 per ton to $5,040 per ton. This is a 62% increase in dollar terms. This value, government explains, was arrived at using outstanding cocoa contracts of about 100,000 tons sold at $2,600 per ton in the 2023-2024 crop season and average forecast for the 2025-2026 crop season. The announced price translates to an amount of 3,228.75 Ghana cedis per bag of 64 kilogram gross weight of cocoa. This takes effect from Thursday, 7th August 2025. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has directed the ministries for the Interior, Transport and Foreign Affairs to collaborate on expanding the country's new advanced passenger information and passenger name record systems. This expansion is to ensure the swift implementation of electronic visa or e-visa services for persons entering Ghana. Speaking at the commissioning of the Air Navigation System Complex and the new API PNR Operations Center, President Mahama stressed the critical role of the advanced passenger data systems in enhancing national security, improving border control, and streamlining travel processes. He said it will also help to fast-track the implementation of e-visa.
API and PNR systems, Ghana joins a growing list of countries that are complying with the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2178, Annex 9 of the International Civil Aviation Organization global frameworks that enhance border security, counter-terrorism, and safe mobility. The importance of these systems cannot be overstated. They will enable our security agencies, one, to collect and process passenger data in real time, identify potential threats before arrival or departure, streamline immigration and custom procedures, and enhance the overall efficiency and security of air travel. This means that Ghana is not just ensuring the safety of its skies, we're contributing to regional and global security architecture in an age where threats transcend our borders and information is our first line of defense. Ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of the API and PNR systems provides a strong digital platform on which other critical services can be integrated. And that's why I'm directing the honorable ministers responsible for Interior, Transport, and Foreign Affairs to collaborate to ensure that this platform is expanded to enable us quickly implement the long-awaited e-visa services for the country. I'm charging them to extend this system to cover both the sea and land border posts, integration with our e-gate systems, and the adoption of the capabilities to extend to perform the advanced cargo information system, also for the benefits of our customs. These policy directives will ensure the country enjoys the full benefits of what we are witnessing today. The e-visa system will ease visa application processes, it will reduce paperwork and bureaucracy, it will support tourism, and make Ghana an even more attractive destination for business. The future of travel is digital, and Ghana must not be left behind.
And to some more stories, 12 years ago, Ghana launched a groundbreaking HPV pilot vaccination campaign aimed at protecting young girls from cervical cancer. From dispelling myths about infertility to witnessing the long-term impact on their health, these young women are living proof of the power of vaccination. Ahead of the national HPV vaccination campaign, Sarah Penkro has been exploring the journey of early beneficiaries and the lasting effects the campaign has had on their lives over the past 12 years.
On September 5, Ghana is expected to begin the rollout of the HPV vaccination across the country for girls 9 years to 14 years. However, in 2013, the country had a pilot program in 4 districts within the country, 2 in the northern region and 2 in the Greater Accra region. In Accra, the Shai Osudoku district as well as the Ningo Prampram district were the 2 districts selected for the exercise. Today, 12 years down the line, we are here at Ayenya, a community in the Shai Osudoku district where some of the girls who took part in the exercise are located. We are here to find out how they are faring 12 years down the line after they took the vaccines. Come along.
Nurse Gracelove Ajasin was one of the public health nurses who took part in the 2013 HPV pilot vaccination campaign. As she walks us into the community of Ayenya, she reminisced the moment like today. She has worked at the CHIPS compound in the last 15 years. The HPV pilot vaccination campaign, which was conducted in 2 phases from 2013 to 2015, targeted approximately 6,000 young girls 10 years old in each phase. According to Nurse Gracelove, dealing with a misconception was the major hurdle.
Because they found it difficult to understand why it was given to a particular class of girls or ages of girls. So they ended up saying it's a family planning method we are giving to the girls. And some were even saying it's either we are preventing them from giving birth now or later in future. And that the government have realized, one of the comments was like the government have realized we are too many. So it was a way to reduce the population, especially in girls.
Years down the line, she still keeps a close tab on some of the beneficiaries.
Because of the misconceptions behind the vaccine, I did a vivid follow-up to ensure that after the vaccine, they have not gotten any side effects, nobody fell ill, and 12 years down the line, all the girls are fine, they are healthy, some have even given birth. So they now come to accept and believe the HPV vaccine, that it's really helping and it's good for the girls.
Portia Kwame is among the young girls who took the vaccine during the pilot campaign. She tells me it was a battle for her family before they eventually allowed her to take the vaccine.
Back then, our parents and even the people from the community had concerns about the vaccine, that if we take it, we'll be either promiscuous or infertile. So I was afraid as at when I took it. But now, looking at the results now, nothing of that sort has happened. I'm grateful I took the vaccine because the vaccine has been proven to be effective and it protects us from cervical cancer.
22-year-old Mary, another beneficiary of the vaccine, is now a mother. She tells me her situation compelled the community members to dispel the myth that the vaccine will cause infertility among young girls.
Our mothers were not agreeing to do it. They thought it was a family planning vaccine, but it is not. I have a child now, even after taking the vaccine.
For residents of Ayenya, they had lost count of the time, a moment of confusion in their lives that will remain imprinted forever. Auntie Rosina is a parent who allowed her child to take the vaccine in the midst of the confusion.
I have 6 children and I forced one to take the vaccine. She has 3 kids now. The parents should allow their children to take the vaccine.
Currently, data suggest that an estimated 2,797 new cases of cervical cancer are diagnosed annually. This means there's a high incidence of the disease in the country, hence the need for the initiative to ensure young girls are protected before they become sexually active.
Now, when Diamond Lucas gained admission to Mfansipim School at 9 years, It was his dream to meet and be mentored by renowned lawyer Chachi Chikata, who stepped into the Cooperative Hills also at 9. That dream has finally become a reality after his story aired on TV3. The encounter between Chachi Chikata and Diamond Lucas, truly an inspiring one, marked by a rich exchange of knowledge and insights that will forever change the life of this young student.
Renowned lawyer Chachi Chikata did not only open the door of his home to receive Diamond and his family, but also his heart.
With water. Thank you. To welcome you. Yes, to welcome you. Yeah. Even Portugal will get some water too. Yeah.
In April, TV3 News broadcast a news story of Diamond Lucas, who gained admission to Infantipim School at 9 years.
I wish I would meet lawyer Chachi Chikata, who is one of my inspirations and also an old boy of Infantipim School.
Diamond's remarkable story of gaining admission to the school at just 9 years old resonated deeply with lawyer Chachi Chikata, who also gained admission at 9 years.
A lot of different people were sending me clips from the program. And I go to court and some lawyers meet me and they say, oh, that young one who wants to meet you, when are you going to meet him? So from all sides. So I'm very happy to meet Diamond. And I'm going to have a chat with Diamond, so he will come and sit by me. Diamond, come over and sit by me. But before, sit by me so we can have a little chat. 1 year at the Cooperative Hill, right? Tell me about that experience. And then I'll tell you my experience there in the first year.
In the Cooperative Hill, my first year, it was normal for me. I didn't feel shy, and so I was mingling with them, learning with them. When they are going to learn, they teach me. Like when I don't understand anything, I tell them to teach me. They teach me.
Excellent. When I went, I was in Barmer House on the hill. My father actually was very concerned about my health, and because I used to be, I'm asthmatic. I had a very serious health problem. So he entrusted me to a senior housemaster, Mr. Tamaklo, just to be looking to see that, I was okay.
Diamond's parents spoke about their son's progress.
So during the COVID, I was actually organizing classes for the children in that community at Kwashiman. When I was teaching the GHS children, he comes to join in. He sits and then he watches whilst I teach them. Whatever work I give, he tries to do some. And when he submits his work, I realized that he was getting some of them correct and some were also wrong. So that's where I saw the potentials in him.
I'm searching for my phone. I'm not seeing my phone. Not knowing this small boy, I've been taking my phone and be browsing. Every 3 seconds, where is Diamond? Oh, Lord, Mom, you don't know where I was. I'm just going through the net to see 1 or 2 things. Those that I want them to be my mentors. Okay, if it's not a bad thing, there's a positive thing. Let's embrace it. Then you keep the fire burning.
What followed was a heartwarming mentorship session.
You want to be a doctor, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so after that first year, how are you preparing your mind for the years ahead so that you can reach your goal?
Okay, I plan that when I reach university, I'll go for only 4 years and I'll do some top-up courses so that I'll not go for 7 years, so that 4 years, only 4 years, then I'll become I'll continue with my national service sentence before my master's and I'll become a doctor.
Wow. But university is so far away for now. So let's go step by step. How do you see year 2, year 3, year 4 in Infantipim?
I see it to be difficult. The years ahead are heavier than the ones at the back, so I must push my best.
In the Bible, when Paul writes to Timothy, there's a place where he says that don't let anybody look down on you because you are young. And he also says to him, fan the gift that is in you. Fan it.
Lawyer Chachu Chikata encouraged Diamond to trust in God, take his lessons seriously and be obedient.
What else do you do with your hands at school? Cleaning, yes, what else? Do they have a school farm or?
No.
There isn't a school farm. I think it would be a good idea to have a school farm so that young people, when I think back, I feel that would have been a good training for me to be working with my hands on a farm. So I'm hoping that Kwaboche will start a school farm and all of you can be planting some things and, learning to cultivate the soil.
Diamond had more than an advice. He had a bonding experience also with lawyer Chachu Chikata and his wife, Madam Esther Koba, who also joined in, creating a sense of belonging for him and warmth. Diamond's brother Gold was also not left out.
Every child is a gifted child, and every child is in fact a gift of God. I think, unfortunately, children who have certain gifts that may not be academic, we tend to overlook. Diamond is academically very gifted. We thank God for that. But there are other children who are gifted in other fields, in music, in football, in, hockey, in cricket. Children are gifted in a variety of things, in technical fields. And for me, it's very important that we don't just concentrate on academically gifted students.
As the meeting came to a close, it was clear that this chance encounter would grow into something meaningful. For Diamond, having lawyer Chachu Chikata as a mentor would spur him on in life. For lawyer Chachu Chikata, this was an opportunity to pay it forward, guiding the next generation of leaders.
I feel happy about this experience. He was a person I wanted to meet since 2019. And I've met him in 2025.
I can tell you that meeting Diamond today just, took my mind back through those years, which were such formative years for me. And I still look on those years with a lot of, joy.
This is the power of mentorship and its impact on the life of another person. Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
And that's our
I'm
bulletin.
embarrassed to say what I was doing at 9.
Oh, I mean, like Chachu said, he's gifted academically, and you're here today, and so there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
But it's such a sweet story, sweet outcome for the story. Heartwarming indeed.
But
good luck to him.
Talking about Chachu, 50 years at the bar.
Absolutely.
It's being celebrated from tomorrow. And so if you have time, do well and pass by the
to
Accra
him
International
as well.
Conference Center and be a part of that. That's our bulletin. I am Awina Egbeta.
And I am Kemini Aman. I'll be back here same time tomorrow. Next is the afternoon show. Bye-bye.
La 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 la.